philosophy. The Bible said in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 10, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, 1 Corinthians chapter 10. It said we destroy what? We destroy what? Ideas and construct and argument that, and with any high thing that comes against the what? Knowledge of God. We pull down, we destroy what? Ideas and concept. Any high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. So now, if you can't identify this environment, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? If you can't identify this environment from this environment, you are going to be what? Sucked in, and you know it's going to be controlled by the system.
It's actually 2 Corinthians 10.
2 Corinthians, thanks. 2 Corinthians 10. So now when you looking and you're seeing what this mark is, and they're talking about the mark of the beast, it's not a physical mark. And in Revelation, the Bible says, he will put his sign upon the forehead of his people, and the mark of the beast upon those who are rebellious. God doesn't have a magic marker, and he comes and he writes it on your head. No. Or writing it on your hand. No. You remember when we did last week, we talked about in Deuteronomy, he said, take my word and bind it upon your hand. We talk about the tefillin, which is symbolic about his mark and his sign on the doorpost of your house. This sign, this oath, is a mentality, a philosophy, and understanding on who Yod-Heh, Wav-Heh is. Not what the preachers and they say. This is why, you see the Bereans, what did they do? Every time that these rabbis and they spoke, what they did? They went home to make sure what they were saying is consistent with what was written in the Tanakh. Scripture alone, everything else takes second place. So now, why should I believe what the Pope is saying? The Pope said he's the vicar of Christ. His word is that God on? That's the devil himself. The Pope is the devil himself. There are two popes, a white pope and a black pope. That doesn't mean, well, I'm not talking about ethnicity, I'm talking about the clothing that they wear. One wear black and one wear white. Two popes, and they control everything. They control every single thing that goes on in a society. Go, do your investigation. Anytime a person telling you to pay homage to a thing, you're breaking every single one of these 10 commandments, which are the what? The basic prerequisite to know how to govern oneself. They said they're going to govern for you. Remember what? Yahweh spoke to who? Adam, and he said, now, Adam, right? Do this. What did the serpent came and do? Did God sleep? And what is Lamech saying? What is he saying? Pay attention. You're paying attention to a man's word, and you listen to what God say. God is not talking to how he spoke to these brothers and all. He left us his word. If we don't get into his word wouldn't get into us. Then we wouldn't know what he's saying. Then we wouldn't know able to judge and to try all things in light of scripture and to hold fast to that which is good. We wouldn't be able. We wouldn't be able. So we got to be able. We got to become vigilant to identify these two signs. All these people that are teaching about Jesus Christ outside there, Jesus Christ is a blue-eyed monster that they draw, Michelangelo and even with the Shroud of Turin and all these things. All these people, Billy Graham, he was there kissing the Pope's ring and saying, Shula, he said, no, he asked him a question, he said, Billy, I see that, in age you grow to the wisdom of God, where God is not so narrow-minded as you said before. God is wide and broad. Just because these evil devils that we all have in our home pump up these men and make these men now what? Famous. They become the what? They become the great mighty men. They became the Nephtalims, giants in the land. These are the giants. These are the giants. Look at them. They make statue of them. They put them up on high pedestal and they praise them. These are the Nephilims. These men, they were renowned in their days. Renowned. Their name was known. And these men name unknown. And just because Billy Graham, he is not teaching scripture. What's the guy, John Pendleton, John Templeton, who was with him? You know what he did? He couldn't believe, well, God can be so merciful. He abandoned his faith. He went back in Canada and he what? He died. He died. Because who you are will always show up. Who you are. You were never part of us. Never. Who you are will always show up. You could be how nice. You could have a behavior modification. But when you stand for Yeshua Mashiach, you're going to be like Stephen. As they stoned him, he smiled. And he looked them in the eye.